I can see that in one hand, agriculture has lots of digital and data which are being collected all over the value chain, but still there is lots of potential improvement in order to better valorize the data.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Wisenetix Podcast episode. As always, we're having great guest speakers here with us, and today is no different. Today, I have here with me Louis Gauthier. Louis is co-managing director and co-owner at Doriane. Louis is going to be sharing some of his achievements, not only his, but from the company since he joined it, since he took over the company, and some great things about what we can expect in the industry in the future. What are the trends, more things about regulatory. And well, I think it's better if he introduces and share a little bit more about his work with us. So Louis, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Ricardo. So thanks for having me in this podcast. Very pleased to be here and to share, regarding the journey of Doriane and my journey. So speaking a bit about myself, so I am an entrepreneur. I have a background in economy. I'm not coming from the agriculture industry, so I did discover this brilliant industry while taking over Doriane 2 years ago. So we'll speak later about Doriane, but basically it's a 40 years old company, and so we took it over with my wife because the owner of the company was getting retired. And basically my background is on tech and digital transformation. So I've been working on a company called Seoul, where we did develop the first vessel with no seafarer on board. And then I was country manager of a digital transformation consulting company. And so what interested me regarding Doriane and the industry was all the capabilities in terms of data management. Because I can see that in one hand, agriculture has lots of digital and data which are being collected all over the value chain, but still there is lots of potential improvement in order to better valorize the data.
That's interesting. And that's actually a recurring topic for us. Every time more, like there is no way we can talk about agriculture without talking about data, about new technologies and digitalization. Actually, just yesterday, I was having this conversation with this entrepreneur as well that is leading this company that also works with not UAV and satellite images on farms, especially on the specialty crops. And we were having this discussion about most of the industries we see, they went through this digitalization process and, starting working with more data. And if we look at the banking industry, 80s, 90s, everything started being digitalized. If we look at media, while we're recording a podcast online, we use channels on YouTube. And now we're getting to the digitalization of physical spaces, and that's coming strong on agriculture. So I'm sure you're going to have some cool insights to share with us about how you guys are, helping producers and the industry with this. Just before we jump into our business conversation here, Louis, one question that I always like to ask is, how would your parents describe what they do, what you do? Are they capable of doing this?
Yes, I guess they are. They know that I am managing a company. So this is the first step. Then what the company is doing, I guess they know that, we help, thanks to data, understand how client works. So I guess they would be able to say, your clients are seed companies, your clients are big agro-food companies like Nestle. Then going into much details about, the functionalities of the software and how we help our clients concretely, I guess they would have some difficulties to go into much more details.
Okay, yeah, usually parents are not great on being very accurate, but most of the times they have this overall sense of what you're doing, which is good. Uh, Louis, so let's talk a little bit more about the work you guys are doing at Dorian. Can you tell us a little bit more what Dorian does in terms of services you provide? And since taking over the company, what are some of the main achievements you guys accomplished?
Dorian is a kind of pioneer in crop innovation software. We have to say that the company was created in 1984. While at this period, obviously, software, even the internet, was not that developed. So I guess we can say that Dorian is a true pioneer. And then what Dorian is doing, so basically it's a software with two main takeaway from this software. First one being the ability to manage research and experimentation activities, right? So the software is being used by small or large organizations doing innovations in agronomy. And second thing being all related to data, so the ability to collect data from the fields, from the laboratory, to centralize all this data and to make some analysis in order to make decision out of it. And so a decision, it can be for a plant breeding company to say, okay, I am going to put this particular variety in the market and not that one. It can be for biological companies saying, okay, my product, my biostimulant, seaweed biostimulant, to what extent it performs better than this specific control, or in which environment is it good to be applied. So many kind of decisions. It can be also some team management. Okay, my team management, my team has too much workload. So how I'm going to organize all this. So basically, it's a day-to-day tool of any research and experimental organization. And I guess what makes us a bit unique in the market is that any kind of data point that is being collected is made to be analyzed. So you were speaking of, yes, all the industries are generating lots of data and data is becoming very trendy. Here, what we are doing is to make sure that one data point generated is being analyzed. So it's not like, okay, we have plenty of data. What we are going to do with this data? No, it's we organize the data in order to precisely from day one, okay, we create a protocol, basically, very concretely speaking. The protocol is being created into the software. And then we know that, okay, what interests me in order to take a decision is the yield of my variety based on this environment and related to these agronomic practices. And yes, you asked me also, Ricardo, the three or some achievements that we have in Dorian, we have had, and obviously it was a kind of journey, taking over quite an old company and make sure that to boost the deployment of this company. So it was not that easy. Also I'm coming from another industry than agriculture. And I was very surprised to have first a very warm welcome of client from Dorian. And then the idea was to first go deeper in terms of value proposition inside the seed industry. And so we are very lucky to have some new clients coming on board, which are two of the top 10 seed companies. And this never happened in the history of Dorian. So, and why did they decided to go with us? I guess it is because we have this ability to help them transform their activity. So when I was saying that my background is in digital transformation, it means that we are able to properly understand the processes of the client and to put some new analytics and to, let's say, streamline the processes in order to make sure that the global efficiency of an organization is being increased. So it was great, to see that we had new substantial clients. And also we just launched a new software product because originally speaking, we are very good, very strong with seed companies. And the idea was to go also in other sectors within agricultural innovation. And so we started a new product called Blumeo Biosolutions. So it's for the biofertilizer, biostimulant, and biocontrol companies. The idea being that they were struggling in order to understand the conditions in which their product were performing best. We know how much it's not easy. I mean, to understand. Okay, what is the practices? What is the environment in which my product perform? And so it was great. I mean, to launch this new product. So it was 3 weeks ago in Miami during the World Biostimulant Congress. So yes, I guess it was a bit a kind of quick summary of the first 2 years within Doriane.
Sounds like interesting first 2 years. First thing, congratulations for the acquisition of new and important customers. I think that's a good validation about the work that you guys are doing. That's pretty awesome. And about new product launches, idea of expanding not only about the seed industry, but being able to help producers and people in agronomy in different things. And one very interesting thing, 1984 is the year when you guys were Doriane was launched. Okay, the Big Brother, the Big Brother year, George Orwell. Okay, yeah, it's the future. And Louis, so if I understood well, you guys can help for now a little bit more focus on seed suppliers, but you can help with their protocols in terms of research about understanding and not only seeds but biological solutions and biostimulants and everything. And you also gather all this data and you are able to cross it so you can have specific information to the applications according to, let's say, if I have this variety of seed, if I'm planting, I don't know, in France versus USA versus Brazil, what could be the things that we can expect? And so give this, and again, please correct me if I'm wrong, but
totally
give this scenario and then also help them in their protocols. Are these protocols like research protocols or protocols of for the results of the research, meaning the application of this, the usage of the seeds and their technologies?
Mm-hmm. You can have both kind of protocols, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it can be true, very concrete. So what should be my application mode of my product? Mm-hmm. Or it can be, okay, let me compare this new variety with a control, so which is the variety which is commonly used in the market. So it can be quite diverse as a protocol, and it's true that we put lots of emphasis on the flexibility of protocols. So, for example, there is a possibility to have a multifactorial approach. So, let's say to have an experimental design in order to analyze different factors. So, the correlation of one element, so let's say my product, with another element, which is, for example, my variety. And when we speak of, okay, how shall we build a bit tomorrow agriculture, we know that everything is being more and more complex. We have this climate change. We have this need to use less chemical products. So we need to rethink completely, let's say, how a farm is being managed. It goes with some lots of flexibilities in the protocols in order for innovative companies to come and meet farmers saying, okay, I did plenty of trials in environments like yours, in your pedoclimatic conditions. And I know that in order to decrease the use of this specific chemical pesticide, you should use this variety together with this biological, together with these agronomic practices.
Are those insights that you can have before you do, like, let's say you do some sorts of trials and experiments, but is the platform capable of predicting based on data, predicting those usage, or you still of course you probably would have some insights and do new trials based on those insights? Is that accurate?
It's true that we just created a new department, a data science department. So I don't know if I say it, but Doriane is 32 employees, right? So we have some some software developers, we have some agronomists, we have some project manager because we need to implement this software. And also we have this data science team. And what we said, speaking to our clients, that what we realize is that first we need to make sure that all the data they collected and on which they will take decisions are correct data, which are contextualized, and make sure that all the data which are not correct are being, let's say, canceled. And so we have this outlier detection algorithm, where basically if we know that, so we analyze all the data set, and we can see that, oh, maybe this variety was planted very close to a road, or there was some animals that came into the field. So it means that the result in a specific plant is not correct. I mean, it should be deleted from the analysis. So this we can.
There are external influences that will eliminate the usage of that. Okay.
Correct. And so we need to spot those outliers. And second thing being is true to predict the behavior of some plants in some environments that have not been tested yet. So we started to use those to create those machine learning algorithms together with one client. We have 2 PhDs currently in the team working on it. And the idea is to do this job in collaboration with some clients. Why? Because we need the data of the clients in order to train the algorithm. So true. I mean, in the history of Doriane, it's interesting what you are saying. So we started very basic. Okay, please do not use paper in order to take notation and take observation on field. Please use this program. Then, okay, let's do some proper statistics. Now we have a number of data, we can play with it. And now we are coming to the new age where, okay, let's use machine learning algorithm in order to predict behavior and to be much more accurate in terms of consistency of the data.
Okay, interesting. Louis, well, first, thank you for the great introduction about the solutions and how you guys are helping the industry. We're gonna go over this a little bit again on understanding how you're helping seed producers and other companies. But let's take a step back here. Everything we talk here, although it might sound futuristic and it's about today, like it's what is happening today. It's the transformation that is going on right now. But looking at the future, considering what's going on right now, what are some of the current trends that you see, trends and challenges in the industry that you see shaping the future in the market, in the industry in the coming years? What's coming, in your opinion?
So what's coming, obviously, is the fact that we should be using less chemical, as I said. We have also all this climate change coming in. So we need to keep on producing as many as before, and maybe even more, while getting all these constraints in mind. So we need basically innovation. And I'm very impressed by what our clients are currently doing in order to have some variety which are naturally resistant, to have those biological products. So that's the first kind of key things, bringing more innovation to farmers. I guess second trend that I can see in terms of what we can see from our clients, at least, is still lots of merger and acquisitions. So lots of companies with different brands inside their organization. And it's there also that we are helping them, supporting them, because getting a single software in order to organize the activities plus to make the data analysis has tremendous value after a kind of acquisition. For example, we are working with major seed companies. They have like 3 different brands, and they decided for research topic not to have any collaboration between the brands. Like that, any kind of knowledge from the brands will keep on, and they will have a kind of competency within the group. While they said, okay, but for product development and sales, we need to enhance the collaboration. So we are going to set up this new Doriane software in order to increase, let's say, the collaboration inside the brands, to have the same processes, to be able to share the data between one brand to another, to say, okay, this specific client, I know that he likes this kind of variety, and this brings tremendous value, I guess, for them. And other trend I can see also, which is more recent, is all cybersecurity risk. I mean, we have more and more conversation, especially with the larger clients, on okay, how do you manage this risk? Because we are a cloud-based system, so basically we host the data of our clients, and the data of our clients have lots of value for them. I mean, there are seed companies are investing like between 20 to 30% of their turnover in research, and what is research is generating data from varieties and field. And so when I said, yes, there are some of the top seed companies that start to work with us, I guess one of the reasons is this one also, is that they want to give us, let's say, the burden of cybersecurity to a specialist.
I mean, we've had for humans, we had COVID-19
Yes.
outbreak, but if we look at specifically, I'm not fully aware about like seeds and crops, but one of the things that we discuss the most on our podcasts, especially the livestock ones, is disease outbreaks. If we're talking about African swine fever or some other species and diseases, but that's something that is definitely a trend, and things. Well, the world is every time more connected, and the spread of new problems and biosecurity is an important issue we're seeing today. Louis, we're talking about trends in the future, but right now, the work that you guys are doing with the industry is, helping the seed producers and other suppliers at the moment. How are you guys helping these seed producers? How does the Doriane technology support these seed producers and research institutions in optimizing their processes and their results?
Yes, clearly. So we spoke of data management. We spoke of sharing data. We did not speak so much regarding the organization of research and experimentation activity. So one key things we are doing, let's say, let's take the example still of a seed company. So what are they doing? They are doing some plant breeding programs where they need to, within 5 to 10 years, to get a new variety in the market. So thanks to the software, they will be able to define their target in terms of market. So it's what we can call a product design or variety profile or product profile anyway. So they say, okay, I need a new sunflower variety for this specific market, for East Europe, and with resistance to branch or this disease. And then they say, okay, I have a budget for this. I'm going to put on the software the budget for this. And I'm going to plan in advance the steps in order to get this new variety in the market. And here we are helping to structure all the processes, the research processes, and year by year, doing some reports in terms of what are the results on field of the first varieties that are becoming tested, compared to the target product design. What is the budget that has been spent so far compared to what was planned? And so you have plenty of dashboards and KPIs in order to make sure that we do the correct improvement and advancement compared to what was planned. So this has big value, especially so at the beginning it was only big companies, big seed companies that had this approach. No, middle-sized company has also this approach because there are lots of constraints in terms of budget, and they want to streamline the processes and to get more interaction between the different departments. You know that many plant breeders they go from a conventional approach to a kind of data-driven approach. And in order to have a data-driven approach and to make decisions based on clear data, you have to have a full process which is made in order to have correct data at the end of the day, right? So it's not only a plant breeder doing his program, managing everything by himself. It's at the organization level saying, okay, what are we going to do? And then there is we need to send some sample to the laboratories. We need to have some outsourcing companies that are doing some trials. We need to go and see some potential clients and get the feedbacks. So all this should be mapped, and the task should be followed on the software.
That's interesting. And it's interesting to see the possibility of expanding this approach that most big companies have already, but make this accessible for medium-sized and maybe smaller seed producers and other companies. Interesting. And what do you think are some of the main barriers that companies face when they're trying to adopt this sort of new technologies, like machine learning, for example, in agriculture?
Yeah, so the first barrier for machine learning being the availability of some data. So when we did create this data science department, we are quite surprised by the fact that, okay, how much data do I have available in order to make some analysis and to make some predictions? And in terms of agriculture, there are plenty of data, as I said, but data are not shared. I mean, machineries companies are collecting plenty of data. Then you have distributor companies, you have seed companies, but data are not moving, from one organization to another one. And there is close to no open data available. So that's the main barrier, I guess, is that organization are not willing to share data openly. And then even inside an organization, barrier being what we call change management. So at Doriane, we come with a team, okay, a project management team saying, okay, you are going to implement this new software. But everyone at the beginning is saying, yes, brilliant idea. But then going into the details, okay, it means that I need to change this process. Okay, it means that, okay, I had this information on Excel sheet, I was happy to do my own analysis on my side. No, now the idea is that, okay, you use the system for all your activities. And so there is always like 6 months to 1 year when we need to train people, we need to make sure the processes are correct inside the company, to bring the necessary value to all the users for them to realize how much it's important to have a software in order to better organize their activity and their data. And here, I guess there is also a difference between. I will not generalize, but between young people coming from the education, just recently graduated, and they are data driven. They want to have data. They want to make sure their decision is based on some correct data. And maybe sometimes some older researchers, which are highly skilled, coming from the knowledge accumulated during years and years. And when we tell them, okay, your decision should be based on some data that anyone in the company can check, and let's say you should report why you decided to have this new innovation on the market and not this one, this may take a bit of time.
So data availability and very important culture.
Yeah.
It can be hard to adopt the new technologies. I think everyone, especially as we get older, and I'm not saying, hey, old people. No, I mean, even myself as a 32 years old, still quite young, but as we're gaining more age and we start, trusting the things that we know, and that's, that this is it. It starts getting harder to adapt to new things. It can be. True. Of course, we need to train ourselves and know that we always need to learn new things and be ready for change. I think that's essential. I think the people who are people and companies who are flexible and able to adapt are the ones that survive. But when we're talking about data and about technology, even for agriculture, which can be a little bit behind compared to other industries, as we say in terms of digitalization, it's not a matter of yes or no, it's a matter of when, because it's gonna happen, right? This transformation is happening, and well, the sooner you understand that, hey, I need to go through these challenges. I know it's not going to be easy. I need to adapt my culture, my processes, learn with this, and change. Well, you're going to be in front of the others, the ones that are behind. So you can take more advantage the fastest you go with your changes. So I think that's one mindset that would be important for producers and people in the industry to understand. And Louis, about looking at Doriane solutions, how exactly they bridge the gaps in product development and field testing exactly?
When we discussed with biological companies in order to understand their need and their pain, what they said basically is that quite often they try a product and controlled condition, in a laboratory, and wow, the results are just amazing, and they're saying to themselves, okay, we have a great breakthrough innovation, and we're going to bring this new product in the market, and we're going to have lots of new clients. But then they try the product in open field, right? And then the results are very different. And so there is a kind of long road between a kind of observation, which is done on controlled condition, and some reliable, predictable results in open fields. And the gap is this one. And here we need to help. And so how do we help? We help by sharing some extra layers of data in order to contextualize the field. Okay, so what's the difference between controlled conditions and open fields? So there is the soil type, which is very different. There is the weather. Okay, what was the weather? There is the practices that has been done. Okay, how did I apply my product? When? And we know that for biological, all the results depends on the 2 hours after the application. So we need to very precisely look at what were the conditions at this period in order to understand the conditions in which the product performed. So that's where we help. And then the companies know the factors which prevent their product from working well or that help the product to perform.
Louis, we're getting to the end of our conversation here. We have a few last questions, two last questions I want to ask. The first one is, in what ways can improved communication and data sharing enhance collaboration across the agricultural supply chain? We know that data is not available, open. It's hard to get good and open data. How can we work that?
Yeah, so first we need organization to see the value of sharing data. So, for example, for farmers, okay, there is a value to share your data in case you get some data of farmers that are very close to you. Like that, you know that if this practice works well in a farmer close to you, it means it should be working also on your site, on your farm. So that's the first thing. There is also something regarding business model. I'm not an expert on this, but for sure data has value. For sure, people that share their data should get some insight out of it. So I know that some companies are working on it in order to give compensation to the people that are sharing data. And I guess also there is still the IT constraints, and it's where we are helping also, saying, yes, you can share some data, and I will assure that you have the proper security, the proper interoperability in the data, and the proper return to you regarding the insights you may have thanks to the data you have been shared.
Yeah, I think that's a challenge that needs to be tackled. Not an easy one, but yeah, probably something important that we need.
True, because sometimes organizations have no interest in sharing data, to be honest, also.
Yeah.
So, for example, distribution company, sometimes they do some testing in order to assess a product. Do they have the interest? When you are buying something, you do not say to the people that is selling to you, yes, your product is 100% great. I mean, otherwise the price will be quite high of the product. So yes, there are lots of things to have in mind while thinking, okay, why not sharing more data and agriculture value chain?
I think one important step in this is what we're doing right now, right? Talking about it, discussing, bringing these discussions to the table, and that's actually one of our focus, right? Thought leadership. We don't want only sell products. We want to, engage with the industry, share value, bring information that will help people making their decisions. And in this conversation that we are having, maybe having some people analyzing how they view their things, how they treat their data. So how do you guys at Doriane see the importance of thought leadership about being present in a market, not only as a supplier of a product, of a software, but also as someone that is trying to bring value to the industry? How do you position like that? How does that contribute to Doriane's brand authority in the industry?
So first being to get some value and to deliver the value that we have, so one of our main value is walk the talk, so when we say we are doing something, we are going to do it. And that we are working in kind of niche market. Everyone knows everyone, which is great. I mean, so we need to be consistent between what we say and what we do and what we deliver. And concerning what you said regarding, okay, we need to a bit open, let's say, our eyes and look at new initiative and talking of it. It's true that in France we have a new, because we are a French company. I did not say, but I guess you hear it and you did understand.
I guess.
It. But still, there is a program that has been launched by the French ministry called Grand Défi, so big challenges, let's say. It's a 60 million euro program in order to boost the deployment of biologicals in French farms. And the idea is that all the industry is working together, so from academic research up to farmers, in order to understand what prevents biologicals from being implemented. And one of the key topic is open data. So is to make some trials, to share the results. And here at Doriane, we are here to gather all those data and to share them. So we went from a company working with one given organization on a silo basis to let's share and open the data. And I guess it makes a true difference, and it will make a difference.
Bringing the discussion and participating, engaging with the community, right? The agricultural community. Louis, thank you so much for your time. It was a great conversation. I'm sure that people listening can get great insights from what we just brought here to the table. I want to appreciate you taking the time to share your experiences and the work you guys are doing. My last question is, where can our listeners connect and find you online?
Yeah, so on LinkedIn, obviously. So we have a Doriane page on LinkedIn, on our website, www.doriane.com. You can join me also on LinkedIn, Louis Gauthier, and I'm very active in LinkedIn.
That's awesome. And for our listeners, people that were with us here now, thank you for your company, and I hope to see you all in our next episode. Okay? Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.